So I've been seeing this around a lot recently, this term Ultra MAGA. Now, the other week we talked about this so-called dark MAGA movement. There was an article on that Raw Story that I talked about with you, and I concluded, like, I don't know if this is real. If it is real, I don't know how big it is. Not really sure where the name came from, et cetera, et cetera. You can go watch that segment if you want. But now Ultra MAGA is being trotted out all the time by Democrats. So she's doing a press conference here, and she's going to be asked, like, what is this Ultra MAGA thing? I want to listen to it, and then I'll tell you why they're doing it and what the point is, and we'll dissect her lines of attack and how potent they are against the right.
A question on messaging. Who came up with this phrase Ultra MAGA? Why the need to...
Could I just say, I get so triggered when I hear MAGA. I say MAGA. That just sounds better to me. MAGA. It sounds like pompous. Who came up with the phrase MAGA? Now, look, maybe they're right. Maybe that's the proper way to say it. If that is the proper way to say it, then I implore all of you, say it the wrong way. Because the wrong way sounds better. MAGA. MAGA.
Kick it up a notch. Well, MAGA wasn't enough. I mean, why now use this phrase?
I will tell you is the president's phrase, and the president made those comments himself just last.
Okay. So no, it's not the president's phrase. Joe Biden 100% did not come up with Ultra MAGA. MAGA. Ultra MAGA, let's say it the right way. Right way, wrong way, don't care. It is what everybody should say. Here's where that comes from. A group of overpaid Democratic consultants. Some douchebag who went to an Ivy League school got paid like $150,000 to come up with that. And there was a boardroom of Democratic elites, including probably Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Jen Psaki, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, were like, that's it! Brilliant! We found it! Oh, Ultra MAGA! So what is this? Well, we just covered the articles the other day. I think there was one in Politico. It's been in a number of places. The idea is we got to run on Trump ad again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Now, why? Why do they feel like they have to run on Trump ad again? Because what else are they doing? They got Dickie McGee's axe to run on. Inflation is up. The economy is down. You got all these other issues. Healthcare wasn't addressed in any serious way. He's not eliminating student loan debt. Even if he does do anything, it'll be a half measure. He's not legalizing marijuana. He hasn't gotten any part of Build Back Better through the Senate or even attempted to break it up and do it. That he hasn't done any of it. So what do you have left? Well, he's going, let's go back and play the classics, bro. Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. And so they thought, well, how do we really inject some steroids into Trump bad so we think we're going to win for sure? I know, let's say Ultra MAGA instead of just MAGA. It's brazenly, like, cheap bullshit is what it is. It's just a marketing ploy. That's all it is. Well, I was against Trump before. I'm really against Trump now. And you think Trump's bad? Well, now you got like super extra next level mega ultra Trump people. You vote for me, right? Will you vote for me? Okay, so Ultra MAGA is so goofy. It's ridiculous. And this is what happens when you don't have anything to run on yourself. Any policy changes, any material improvement for people's lives, any plan for future improvement, any improvement that happened before that you can run on that makes, and there are like a handful of things he could run on. I gave you $1,400 checks. Maybe I'll give you another one. He could run on, I raised the minimum wage for all the federal contractors and federal employees. He could run on something like that. He could run on, we got new factories coming to Ohio and Michigan. He could run on that, but no. Even their accomplishments, they're not like, well, let's talk about our accomplishments. It's just, Trump's bad and he's really bad. Did I say he was bad? So, all right, now let's go through the rest. Ultra MAGA is stupid, but now let's go through the specific lines of attack that she uses here on the Republicans are actually not terrible. So let's watch and I'll explain.
week, as you know. And I think what has struck him is how extreme some of the policies and proposals are that a certain wing of the Republican Party that is taking up too much of the Republican Party are for and are advocating for. And you've heard the president talk about this. But it's not just obviously putting at risk a woman's right to make choices about her own health care. It is also, as you heard him talk about this morning, Rick Scott's extreme plan that will raise taxes on 75 million Americans making less than $100,000 a year. It is Rick Scott.
See, Rick Scott is getting hammered over his shitty policy proposal plan. We went through this a number of times on the show, but Mitch McConnell's like, hey, Republicans, shut up. We're going to win if we say nothing. So say nothing. And Rick Scott was like, I disagree, boss. Let's propose a whole bunch of bad ideas. Okay, one of the like policy planks in his plan is, I'm not kidding about this, men are men, women are women. That's not even a policy. You're not even saying, like, I'm going to do some shit. You're just like, policy plank number 4, trigger the libs and the transes. Like, what are you doing? And his weakest point is sunset all federal government regulations. What? So what? You want, like, every 5 years get rid of all the clean water protections and then you have to re-up them and like, what are you talking about? That's psychotic. And then, yeah, he goes, well, like the old Mitt Romney line, 47% of the country is, they're takers, they're not makers, and they don't pay any federal taxes. And he goes, we need to raise taxes on those people. Raise taxes on the poorest, like 50% of it. What the fuck is wrong with you? The reason they don't pay any taxes is because they can't afford to pay any taxes because they don't make any goddamn money because they're poor. And he's like, no, we should raise taxes on them. So raise them on them, but cut them for the wealthy. He's so ripe for attacks because he's a moron and he doesn't know anything. And there are a million things in that we rip to shreds because it's stupid. And so now what the Democrats are doing, and this is intelligent, pick out the planks of that are the worst and just go all in on that. You want to raise taxes on the poorest Americans. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's a potent line of attack, man. And this is why Mitch McConnell's now wagging his finger at idiot Rick Scott behind closed doors like, you moron! We had this thing in the bag and now we're ripe for attack because you're an idiot.
Plan to get rid of, eliminate, that's what sunset means, get rid of, Medicare and Social Security, something people over 70.
True, it says that in the plan. It says that in the plan. Oh, it's going to go bankrupt in 4 years or 10 years. It's not. They've been saying that for 30 years. It's going to go bankrupt in 2 years and 5 years. And it never does. So they just keep bringing it up as a scaremongering tactic because they want to cut it and they want to privatize it.
In this country rely on, and it's also the obsession with culture wars and wars against Mickey Mouse and banning books. President thinks that's extreme. That is not what the American people care about or what they want, and so to him, adding a little ultra to it, give it a little extra.
Okay, the ultra thing is stupid, but it is true. Republicans love to fight the culture war relentlessly as they pretend like they're against the culture war. That's what they do. And nonstop, Mr. Potato Head this, or Dr. Seuss that, and gender nonstop. As they talk nonstop about gender, they say, the left won't shut up about gender. Like this, it's true. They're all in on the culture war. But I will say, Joe Biden is all in on nothing. So like, while they're talking about the culture war, and then you respond and follow them down that rabbit hole, like you're not actually doing economic change to materially improve people's lives, which would actually work to get you elected if you were to do that. But they don't do that. So they're right that they use the culture war as a diversion, but it's not like you're countering that with materially improving people's lives through good economic ideas. So anyway, there you have it. Ultra MAGA is stupid, but this is their plan, and they're all in on it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.